Hey guys, Ryan with the Ryan Smith Home Selling Team and Realty of America here today to talk about the top reasons why buyers cancel a home sale. Let's talk about it next. All right, so we just got an offer on our house and it's so exciting. We're just one step closer to the closing table. Everybody's excited. We're beginning to look for our next house. All the wheels for moving get in motion and then boom, all of a sudden, the buyers terminate the deal. What's going on, right? And many sellers are in that situation right now. So why are buyers terminating deals and what can we learn about this? I think there's a handful of reasons why this is happening. The first is going to be that they're having inspection surprises, right? So people put their house under contract that they're really excited to move to, and then they get this inspection report back, and then they realize, oh, the roof needs to be replaced, or, oh, we have a leak in the front yard that no one knows where it is, or you name it, right? But these are very common deal breakers. So not uncommon at all to see somebody who's very excited about a house and they get a bad inspection report back and it causes an issue. So why that's important for you, if you're thinking about selling your house right now, be intentional about the issues that the house has up front. So if you know that there's things that need to be addressed, don't wait and let an inspector find them later, because it could cost you your sale later, right? Or a lot of money, right? When you are the one that is personally finding the issue, identifying it, correcting it, you are in charge of how much that repair will cost. Whereas if you just let it go until it comes up with a buyer later, now the buyer is going to have a say-so in how much money we're spending to fix it. So it's, as a seller, an important thing to consider that a lot of times inspection surprises can cost you a lot of money or your sale. Number two, we're seeing financing falling through. So sometimes buyers get pre-qualified, and let's say they haven't shared everything with their lender, or let's say that they go out and buy a boat, their financing period, right? Or let's say maybe their credit changes in the middle of this transaction. All these things can cause their financing to fall through. So a note there for someone who's selling their house, obviously you can protect yourself in this area by trying to require a strong pre-approval letter from the buyer's lender. And normally we like to see that those pre-approval letters come from a very reputable, well-known local lender. Local lenders generally do provide clients with a higher level of service, just because it's one of those things. They give them a loan and then they may have to see them at HEB in a week. So they're normally not treated like just a number. They're going to be very directly involved in the file to make sure it goes very smoothly. So getting that loan from a reputable local company as a seller is a really good thing to do to avoid having this issue come up. We've also seen a number of low appraisals. As values are coming down a little bit, it is making it pretty interesting with appraisals. And just because an appraisal comes in low, interestingly enough, doesn't always necessarily mean that you're overpaying for the house. Sometimes appraisers are pulled in from long distances away and they don't necessarily give you the best appraisal, right? And sometimes appraisers are trying to adjust for a market that's declining a little bit and come in with a lower number. So these gaps can get overcome. There's a few main options in that scenario. A buyer can choose to pay the difference between the appraisal amount and the original sales price in cash. The seller can choose to come all the way down to whatever the appraisal amount was. Both parties, the buyer and the seller specifically, could agree to split the difference in the appraisal, or this deal falls apart. And regrettably, that does happen sometimes, but that's why you hire a really great real estate agent to help you through that process if and when it does happen. For me specifically, what we try to do is, if we're representing a seller or a buyer where something doesn't seem right in the appraisal or the information is inaccurate, we'll do our best to dive in and try to help work these things out, so that way you don't have a last minute surprise that puts your dream home at risk, or the sale that you need for your family at risk, right? And then lastly, sometimes people do just get cold feet. I would say this is probably the minority of the time. Normally by the time that they've put an offer in and they've paid up some kind of earnest money or deposit, people are pretty committed by then. But it does happen sometimes because it is an emotional process. People will go through this process and will feel overcome by an emotion in one way or another, and then they'll back out. Right? So buyer's remorse does happen sometimes. But I will also say the other thing we're seeing right now is we are seeing a lot of contingencies. So there's a lot of buyers who are buying their next house contingent on the sale of their house. And so sometimes if they can't get their house sold, this deal may fall apart largely because of this contingency that they weren't able to fulfill. That's certainly something that's going on in the market right now as well. Getting your house under contract is always a super exciting thing, but just remember, this deal is never done until the buyer is handed the keys at closing, right? So, hire a good agent, have them in your corner, have them there to give you excellent advice and to guide you through the process. That's probably the most important thing you could do of everything that we've discussed. So once again, this is Ryan with the Ryan Smith Home Selling Team. Hope this was an informative video for you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. You can always reach us on our website. That's www.ryansmithhomes.com. Email, as I mentioned, ryan@ryansmithhomes.com, or give us a call at our office. That's 254-213-5335. We're all over all social media as well. You can find us there too. So hope you're having a great day. Once again, Ryan Smith with the Ryan Smith Home Selling Team and Realty of America. We'll catch you on the next video.